do a brief memorial ceremony. There'll be a reading of poetry, and then we will announce the names of the babies in whose memory we are gathered here today for. When your baby's name is announced, or your loved one's name is announced, the Reverend will pause, and at that point you can come up and choose a flower in memory of your baby. We'll be holding the flowers. If you have a color in mind and we're not holding it, you can just ignore us and pick the flower that means the most to you.
What is wrong with you?
Washington Irving wrote a great poem, and Nina Bennett left this article called Tears. I just want to share these with you. There is a sacredness in tears. They are not the work of weakness, but of power. They speak more eloquently than 10,000 tongues. They are messengers of overwhelming grief and unspeakable love. You might be wondering to yourself, who is this guy up here, and why would Michelle ask Dean to come and share in this service? And I'm not sure I know all the answers to that, but I have to tell you a little bit about my history. I served with the Fredericton City Police Force in Fredericton, New Brunswick. As part of my responsibility there, I dealt with two different aspects of life. One aspect of life that I dealt with as a police officer was suicide. Any of the suicide calls that happened in our city, I was called, and I responded to minister to the family. I also, part of my portfolio was to deal with parents and loved ones who lost their children. And you have a thought about police officers. You know, we wear a uniform and we have a gun, and you tend to think nothing gets through to us. But I can't tell you the number of days and nights that I would get called and I would respond to a home, and I would have to sit on the floor with a mother holding her child who had passed, and have to somehow make sense of that situation, which you can't, right? I can't give you a reason why it happened. I never could. But I could sit there next to her on the floor in her kitchen and put my arm around her and say, I know I have no words to say, but I care. And I'm here today just to say to you that very thing. I don't understand why it happened, but I care. And I know God cares too. I want to share some poems with you that I think are just beautiful. They're written by some people that you probably know, but they're very, very meaningful. And then after I'm done reading the poems that I'm going to read, we're going to have a mother come, and she's going to share a poem that she has written as well. This one is entitled Forever Parents. We dreamed of you for a lifetime, waiting for you to be true, hoping soon the day would come when all we would have was you. We dreamed of days of celebration, holding you in our arms, treasuring the moments we had, hoping they were just the start. You were to be our purpose, a lifetime spent loving you, helping you achieve your dreams. You were our wish come true. Your silent birth was deafening. We longed to hear your cry, to confirm our dreams of evermore, parenthood undenied. We held your perfect body and wept for your beautiful one. We longed to share you with the world, but suddenly you were gone. Though so few would remember, we knew it to be true. We would always be your parents, forever loving you. And then one entitled In Loving Memory of Alyssa Jane Faith Tillman. It came from out of nowhere, and I was so very far away that I could not seem to reach you and hold you to help you stay. I think you should understand that this poem was written by a dad who was serving our country overseas. Your mommy did all she could, fighting bravely all alone, while your daddy was away in a battle not his own. I will never forget the pictures and waiting for the day when I could come home and see you and love you in every way. Though you are in heaven and we are feeling blue, we know we will see you one day. This much I promise to you. God must need you there to help in some special way. Though my heart is grieving, this much I can say. Be good until I get there and help out wherever you can. Because there has to be a reason. It is all a part of his plan. Just remember that your daddy loves you. with every beat of his heart. And that I will never forget you, though we are apart. It was faith that took my daughter before she grew so smart. God may have my baby, but my baby has my heart. With all the love that I have in my heart, Daddy loves you. And then one more, to a stillborn sister, my Andrea Gabrielli. How do you love a person who never got to be? Or try again to see a face you never got to see? How do you mourn the death of one who never got to live? When there's nothing to feel good about and nothing to forgive. I love you, little sister. You're a person of the wind, free to be the memory of all that might have been. I love you, little sister, my companion of the night, wandering through my lonely hours, beautiful and bright. What does it mean to die before you ever can be born? To live the lovely night of life and never see the dawn? Ah, my little sister, you live like anyone. Life's a burst of joy and pain, and then like yours is done. I love you, little sister, just as if you'd lived for years. No more, no less I think of you, the angel of my tears. Shall we pray?